Dustin, back row, and then Rusty. Right here. Alan.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Kyle, when you look at the chase, look ahead to it, what intrigues you, what fascinates you, or what kind of questions you have looking at what might be or what might happen?
I think the things that I look at right now is just, of course, what racetracks are in the chase. We know that. We've known that for a few years now. But at which one of those racetracks do I tend to run well at, really like, or seem to know that I might have a chance of struggling at? And right now, looking at it, I look at Kansas as kind of being a struggle point. I look at Talladega. Nobody really knows. And Martinsville, I ran really well there this spring and had a shot to finish second, and unfortunately got wrecked after a pit stop. So, I mean, you can have a second place run going or even a win going and pit late in the going and then come back out and get wrecked. So, you just never know what might transpire. Loudon I'm looking forward to. We ran third there in the spring. We were running with Jeff Burton there before getting spun. Finished 11th. Dover we won. Charlotte's been a pretty good track for me. I like going there. California has been good for us. Homestead was really good last year. So, there's some good highlights there that I feel like we can really run strong.
Go back row and then Rusty.
Kyle, Chuck Davis, Comcast Sportsnet. Wanted to know your race tonight as you go for the record. What do you see as being one of the advantages and disadvantages to running the new car as opposed to the old Nationwide car?
Well, I don't feel like there's really any advantages or disadvantages to it. I mean, everybody's not necessarily got the same piece, but we all have the same structure of cars. So it's just all about who puts it together the best, who's got the best setup underneath it for the short run and the long run. I feel like our car was pretty decent yesterday in the test that we had here. We learned a little bit about it, and I feel like we're okay. I think there's a couple guys that still might be a little bit better, but when you look at the sheet, the cars are kind of like the Cup cars. You run pretty consistent. It's hard to pick out who exactly is the best. So it's just going to come down to the race and seeing who can race the best. So I feel like tonight with our pink Z-Line designs, Kimmy design, it's should be fun and going after win number 11.
We'll go Rusty, Jim Utter, and then right here.
Rusty Ballin, NASCAR Media Group. Again, just looking ahead next week in the chase, starting in New Hampshire. Just curious to how important do you feel it is to get off on the right foot in New Hampshire? Or on the other hand, is that the one track that if you have a bad race, then you've got the most races to recover from it?
No, I mean, if you run well for the first 5 races and then you go to Talladega and struggle, you'll have a cushion built up. So you want to always try to build the cushion as big as you can. You don't want to start from behind. So for me, I feel like it's really important to come out of the gate strong, to run well. It's no different than, say, the beginning of the year. I always feel like the beginning part of the year is the most important. The first 10 or 12 races is the most important to get your footing and to get your set, in your point standings, because then you have a little bit to lose. You might go a week or two here or there where you finish 20th or worse, but you have something that you can lose a little bit. So, you definitely want to get through the first 5 at least strong, where you have a good setting, and then just kind of work towards the rest of the year and keeping that, and of course, maybe even getting away from some guys.
Okay, let's go Jim, and then right here. Go ahead, Jim.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Kyle, even though Denny will enter the chase with at least 5 wins, he was quite frustrated after last week's race at Atlanta. Was there anything from that incident or with Joey's that causes you or the organization any concern heading into the chase? Was there any lasting, or was that kind of an isolated incident?
We've had the engine failure that Denny had was I think the 3rd of the year that we've had, and what happens is that's the latest we've ever seen it happen. I mean, it went all through the dyno, it went all through practice, qualifying, happy hour, whatever. Normally when we've seen those type of failures, we've seen them happen on the dyno within the first 100 miles, and for some reason it didn't happen until the I don't know, that was probably about 450 on the engine, not in the race, but in the engine. And so, it was a little weird to have it happen that late in the game, but, the guys know what happened. They know how to fix it, and we've been making some changes and in the engine shop, just working towards a little bit better reliability. So it's been fine. Mark does a nice job, and I feel like we should be good.
Right here.
Kyle, Tim Perrell with the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Jimmy's kind of had that magic touch in the chase the past 4 years. Is there a feeling that things might be different this year?
No, I don't see why we can all assume that there's going to be anything different. I feel like the 48 team is the 48 team. They're the ones to beat. They're the ones you have to look at and know that they're going to be the hardest to beat. I mean, look at the last 10 races. They can win very easily at Loudon, very easily at Dover, very easily at Kansas. Charlotte's one of their best tracks. Homestead's been good for them. Texas, the Hendrick cars have always been real fast there. I keep trying to think of more chase races, but Talladega's probably. I mean, Martinsville again. The 48 can win at Martinsville. So Talladega's really just the only crapshoot, and I know that we're not as good as we'd like to be at some of the chase racetracks, but I know Dave and I are going to work really, really hard at trying to make sure that we come with the best prepared race cars we can out of the shop and work the best together we can at making them better at the racetrack in order to go for wins.
We got, let's go Jenna and then back to Reed. Go ahead, Jenna.
Jennifer, Associated Press. I apologize if any version of this has already been asked. With so many guys locked in tomorrow night, is there any mentality of you can just go for broke and go for that 10 points?
I mean, you can try, but you still have to work at trying to beat the rest of the guys for that win. So it's just like any other week. I'm not saying you want to go out there and wreck, but you want to keep your momentum going. We've had good momentum since Bristol, with Atlanta coming back strong, and then hopefully this week being Richmond, one of my best places, we can run well here, and just keep everything kind of going and flowing into the chase. So that's what we look to do here. Do we want to win? Yeah, it'd be nice to get a win. Do we feel like a good, solid top 5 is going to be good? Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
Reed?
Reed Spencer with Sport News. Just curious as to whether you had any reservations about agreeing to doing the all-access show for ESPN.
Yeah, there's always reservations to agreeing to do a show, but I feel like it's so far so good. It's going to be fun. Hopefully I'm not too boring, and it's actually a little bit of excitement built into it, but not going to say there's really any drama because as of yet it's been kind of slow.
Raise your hand high, please. Thank you.
Kyle, do you have any thoughts about driving on 9/11? Did they mean anything special, or?
That's a tough question. I don't have. I don't have any thoughts. If you're meaning negative, no. As far as it being a day of remembrance, yeah, I think that's highly important. And what all the people in New York City went through on that day. Obviously a huge tragedy in the history of the United States and in the world, really, if you look at it. I mean, it was a big impact all around. Still is to today. So, I feel like the war on terrorism is highly important for us to finish, get through, be done with in order to bring all our troops home safely. I know we've gone through a lot of heartaches through a lot of families across the country so far. So as much as I can say it, my thoughts and prayers go out to all those people that have done their part to help us keep all of our freedoms here and being able to go to the racetrack every week.
Well said. Any other questions? Okay, Kyle. Thank you very much.
All
Good
right.
luck tonight.
Thank
Good
you,
luck
guys.
tomorrow
Thank
night.
Kimmy.
And Lennon,
All right.
thank you very much.
All right.